Hi Aries, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are looking with a theme of wisdom. Okay, so seeing the wisdom beyond everything in your life, the wisdom within yourself, as well as wisdom for connections that you're involved with, whether that be platonic or romantic. Okay, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that support. It really does help out. So thank you. I am going to be we have the Earth Wisdom Oracle as well as the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. Okay, clarifying everything and delving a little bit with the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. And I also have the Romantic Fairy Love Oracle as well. Okay, so getting into it for you, Aries. Okay, Aries, the wisdom that Aries needs right now. Wisdom for our Aries. What does Aries need to know in regards to wisdom, please? Aries, Aries, Aries. Wisdom for Aries, please. Okay. Very interesting energy here. Starting off with the divine connection. Okay, so you see the figure here, you know, standing in that river, that green, healing, emotional energy. She does hold a lily. There is quite a lot of lilies in this energy here as well, which is an eternal divine connection. The lilies do represent, longevity. It does represent, especially with the divine connection, it does talk a lot about, where you go after you pass this world, because lilies are very, very connected to the end of life time frame here. So, it's kind of asking you, what do you believe here, and finding some sort of wisdom with how you want to leave this world when you leave this world. What do you want to leave your friends and family? What do you want to leave, as your kind of legacy in this world? And for a lot of you here, it's all about this connection to the divine, to, your spiritual beliefs, whatever they are, because not everybody believes in heaven as the Christians believe heaven to be. A lot of people have differing beliefs, which is totally fine. On my channel, we roll with all belief, as long as you believe is belief. So it doesn't matter what specifically, that's individual to you and your connection with the divine. Okay, so it's really asking you to sort of sink deeper into that connection that you have and ask yourself what that means for you, especially when it's thinking about, the long term. What legacy do you want to leave, in this world? What do you believe in that is going to carry you into the next sort of world there? So very interesting energy. So it's a very strong time for you here, Aries, to find some inner wisdom in regard to your beliefs and your connection to those beliefs. Do you believe in those things because that is what you have been taught, or do you truly believe? Okay. We also see healing grief coming through here. So, with that energy there, you've been left in the cold. There is wisdom right here behind the figure, but she's standing here in the cold. She's dealt with the cold, the coldness of grief, the coldness of sadness, the coldness of being left alone. For some of you, this is specifically referring to your grief when it comes to believing what happens when people pass on, because for some of you there may have been a death in your life relatively recently, like in the past couple of years, that you are still healing your own grief from that, and it's asking you to sort of look at that and find the wisdom, the lessons for you in how you want to move forward with life. You're still here watching, you're still alive, you still have You know, do you want to spend the rest of your life living in grief, or do you want to, you know, do something else with your time, your heart space there? So healing that grief, moving through the stages of grief, understanding just to start with that there is grief within you. For some of you, it's not necessarily, you know, connected with the death of a loved one. For a lot of you, this is off the back of like just some sort of emotional upsets. There's a whole range of things coming through here. Quite a lot of them are saying, you know, emotional breakups and traumas that have happened in your life, you know, places where you store a lot of grief from experience, you know, but with experience comes wisdom. All right. So it's learning how to deal with that grief and being able to move forward whilst holding that grief. It's okay to grieve, but, you know, you're still part of the land of the living. So, are you going to allow that to hold you back from living? Is what's sort of coming through here, Aries. But I will clarify this, of course. Clarifying this message for Aries, please. Divine connection and healing grief for our Aries wisdom, please. So it's really a time where you're thinking a lot about, you know, what comes next, and like it sounds rather morbid, but you're probably thinking quite a lot about death and your experience of death in your life so far, and you know where you want your life to go before your own death. You know, do you want to, you know, do you have a retirement plan? You're probably thinking about all that sort of stuff, starting to think about, do I need to write a will? Do I need funeral insurance? All those sorts of things might be very, you know, prevalent in your mind at this current time. Um, I am getting a bit of a mixture of energies here because firstly we have the bridge. Okay, so that's coming through as, you know, the rainbow bridge to start with, that connection between, you know, different planes of existence here. So, you know, whatever that means to you here. But for others, it's merely stating cross that bridge when you get to it. Okay, it's asking you to not stress so much about this stuff, that it's, you know, no one knows for sure. Yeah, you don't know for sure, person next to you doesn't know for sure. um, Cross that bridge when you get to it. You're not yet at that bridge. You may have like many years before that really is something that you will be having to, you know, deal with. We do see the letter though. So for some of you, yeah, definitely you're trying to, you know, cross all those T's and dot all those I's before you get to that bridge as well. That is coming through very paperworky. So that really is writing those wills, you know, organizing those funeral insurance plans and whatnot as well. Definitely coming through there. Communicating with yourself about what it means for you, and you know the things that are important to you. It does definitely seem to be in the realm of death for you here at the moment, Aries, and grief associated with death heavily coming through. But once again, that divine connection, that's you're communicating with that connection in order to move yourself forward and assess what you need to accept and move through when it comes to the things that you may be grieving in your life here. The grief that you feel about the fact that there's someone here where it's you're already grieving the fact that there's not enough time, that you're because you don't know, you know, it's kind of like I'm seeing a few random imageries here because I am seeing that. I know there's it's an online thing, right? I wouldn't have a clue what the website is, but it's like a website that you can go to and it's got like a death time countdown on the website. So you put in your stuff and it like predicts when you're going to die, and it's got like a countdown on the website. I'm seeing that. So someone here is very concerned about do I have enough time to do everything I want to do, that, I'm needing to really get everything all done at once kind of thing. I'm getting like the bucket lists and things needing to be checked off my lists, and those sorts of things, crossing bridges that I haven't yet crossed, that I want to cross in my lifetime. Very interesting, but we do have that coming through with the coffin as well. So once again, we do see that representation of death. But the interesting thing with the coffin is that it's not just a death. Every death with the coffin, it is a new beginning, a rebirth as well, okay, a transformation. So going through the motions here, going through these feelings, and like I said, with that healing of the grief energy, going through the stages of grief and accepting that you feel grief, and accepting that, you may be the person who is fearful of death. You may be the person who is, arms open wide, welcoming death, going, really, do I have to wait even longer? But no matter which side of the coin you're on here, your understanding of this and your connection to the divine through putting the idea of death under the microscope for yourself here, it's giving you this wisdom that's allowing you to transform the things in your life that you're not happy with. So if you look at your life and you go, I'm not happy with that, if I died tomorrow and that was what, that was the story of my life, I'm not happy with that. Here you are, ready to make the transformations so that you can be happy with, what the ending of that story would be, and the things that are in your life. So I am picking up strongly that there's a couple of you here where there's this need to have certain things in your life, and you're feeling like you don't have those things in your life, but you don't want to leave this world without having known those things. And so now this is where it's giving you the wisdom to be able to transform yourself, or your life, into the version of your life that you want, to be able to reach the end at, if that kind of makes sense. I hope that kind of makes sense there, Aries. I just want to clarify here, because I am picking up something else here with that coffin energy. It does kind of show us that it's like it's time to close the lid on the grief. It's time to close the lid on the morbid thoughts and the stressing about death, if that's you, and focus on your connection with the divine and yourself. You're finding the wisdom in all of this, and moving towards transformation rather than holding yourself in the endings and the deaths. Moving towards the new beginnings and the rebirths for yourself here, Aries. Just one more, please. Continue the clarification for this energy, please. Yeah, I really thought there was something else. And it's wanting to sort of specify rather than extend on. It's wanting to sort of specify that for majority of you, this is exactly what you're feeling, that though you're missing, because we have the heart as well as the compass here. Okay, so some of you're kind of telling yourself that it's time to start following true north. It's time to start following my heart. And I've been spinning around wildly, lost in confusion, not knowing which direction to take in my life, not knowing where, my true path lies here. And you're kind of coming to this understanding that as long as I follow my heart and I listen to my heart, that I will be able to get to where I need to go here. And so for some of you, there's like something that you really love in this life that you have kind of been putting off, or avoiding, or or it needs to be transformed in some kind of a way. So for some of you, it's actual love as well. All right. And love, you're trying to, it's like this divine connection has been trying to guide you to love. So for some of you, it's love for yourself as well, like finding love within your own self so that you can move in the right direction for yourself, coming from a place of love towards love, if that kind of makes sense. But we'll have a look here with the chakra wisdom. Aries, what else would you like to add for the message of wisdom for Aries, please? Message of wisdom for Aries. So yeah, definitely looking at divine connection with oneself, that divine connection, with God, the universe, the divine, whatever you personally want to call that. We are seeing you very muchly in your third eye chakra here. So seeing beyond the divine trying to get through to you once again, Aries, that the third eye chakra is seeing without using your sight, seeing beyond, seeing the energy of things rather than what you can physically see, seeing the deeper meaning to things, seeing the love, seeing the divine in everything in your life, and moving towards that. Okay, we have balance. This wisdom is helping create balance for you. Okay, the need to balance yourself out, accepting and moving through those stages of grief in order to balance your total out. Definitely coming through there, as well as the need for forgiveness here, Aries. Forgiving yourself. Okay, forgiving yourself for having grief. Some of you, forgiveness for whatever it is that you're grieving. For some of you that's like something in your life that you're grieving the loss of that, and you do need to forgive circumstance, and understand that it sounds very, but everything happens for a reason. And this is all coming down to the reason of you finding balance, finding forgiveness within and without your, and external to yourself, being able to follow your heart, finding your true north here, Aries. Finding love for yourself instead of just, the sadness and the anger and the grief. There's so much anger and mixed in with sadness when it comes to grief. And that anger is what needs to be forgiven here, especially when it's anger at your own self or anger at circumstance, anger at, God for some of you here, and anger at the universe for allowing things to occur. Okay, Aries. What is the wisdom Aries needs in regard to love and romance? Wisdom for Aries in regard to love and romance, please. I'm going to take that one as well. Manifesting the one. Very soon, true love arrives. Okay, so the more that you move into that heart space, the more that you see the love that's available to you in the world, Aries. We do have a psychic connection coming through here as well. So your communication goes beyond mere words. So I do feel that for some of you, that psychic connection is, it doesn't necessarily mean that you know this person. It's like you are already connected to this person's energy, regardless of whether you've met them already or not. For some of you, though, that is it's a divine connection, a psychic connection, where you and this person are actually very, very linked in a energy form. It's not just necessarily, what's going on in your lives, but there's this link between you and this person that it's like you're probably finishing each, someone knows what you're thinking and all those sorts of things, finishing each other's sentences and, just understanding how they feel. Like you have feelings that maybe don't belong to you and you're like, where did that come from? And it belongs to this other person. So falling in love as well here, Aries. sudden feelings that this is the one. So manifesting the one, this is the one. I feel for a lot of you, you already have this person, you already know this person, yet because you've been so struck by grief and wrapped up in all this stuff and needing to forgive yourself and move into that heart space, you just haven't realized that you have the one. So it's like manifesting the one, and all of a sudden you realize that they're right in front of your face, Aries. Dreams come true. All your dreams come true with love. Have faith. Your rainbow will come smiling on through. There is love for you there, Aries. It's all about forgiving yourself and starting to honor the love in your life and moving forward with love and connection to yourself in a divine, balanced kind of a way. Okay, loving way. Love yourself. Okay, Aries, that's what we have for you today. More than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, and I'll see you all again soon.